Hello again and welcome back everybody to another edition of the Row Report. I am your Royal 2IC and today we're going to continue our daily headlines coverage. And real quick, I apologize about not getting one out yesterday. Just had some different things go on. Was supposed to do our interview with a surprise guest. We had a little bit of a scheduling conflict and was a little bit delayed, and then we decided to go ahead and reschedule it, and it looks like it's going to be this Friday. So be on the lookout for that one. But let's just go ahead and jump right into this one. So again, in no particular order, the U.S. and its allies in the Pacific are getting what they're calling reported info from credible sources. I don't know what that means about some potential upcoming aggression from North Korea. Now, North Korea has been putting out a lot of propaganda posters and different other things. They're making a lot of posturing, a lot of noise, and different other activities, as well as they test fired a new type of missile that they've never done before. This one's supposed to be more of a strategic, kind of like cruise missile or whatnot. Splashed down in the Yellow Sea, but it put South Korea on high alert, rightfully so. But just data point that one. Next is the Turkish parliament has officially ratified Sweden's application to join NATO. So it looks like they think they have one more hurdle. Um, I believe there's no, that might be it. I'll have to double check. That's either the last one or there's one more to go. But uh, there they go. Next, looks like the European Farmers Uprising. Okay, if you have not seen that, that's all over social media. Now, it might not be real big into the mainstream because a lot of it, they don't want that out there. But it's pretty easy to find. You can go search for it. It's on a bunch of different platforms and whatnot. But just in case you are not aware of just how big this is, let me list off the countries that are participating in this. So you have Belgium, France, Germany, Italy, Holland, Norway, Poland, Romania, Scotland, Slovenia, and Spain. And that's just so far. There's others that have expressed interest in joining as well. So, and they're not slowing down by any means. They're actually ramping up. So keep an eye out on that. The people of Europe are not happy at the moment, and they are really showing it. So, uh, yeah, that's one that you really want to pay attention to. Nothing to get panicked over, but this is really big. So we'll continue to cover it. Next, it looks like the Houthis have issued a new order, and this one comes out as they demand that all American and Britons that are working currently for the UN to vacate the country within the next 30 days. Now, there's a bunch of rumors going around after they post this that oh, they're preparing for war. Now, I get it. Okay, if you really want to start putting the tinfoil hat on, start connecting the dots, there's a lot happening in February. Okay, that next 30 to 45 days, there's a lot of things taking place. So I get it. I can see where you can see about drawing that conclusion. Is it true? I don't know, but it's interesting that they use the 30-day mark. Granted, to be fair on the other side, a month is usually kind of common. So could it be something? Yeah. Could it be nothing? Yeah. So, but interesting. We'll keep it out in mind. And we all know that China wants Taiwan, but apparently they're not settling for just that island, as they now have announced that the Parcel and Spratly Islands, those now they're considering Chinese territory. Those have been widely seen as Philippine territory, and the Philippines quickly came out strongly opposing that statement. So I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is a, we're going here, but hey, look over here, and everybody kind of looks this way so they can move, I don't know if this is actually a, hey, we're going to do this one and we're just going to come down here. I don't know what all this is, but it's interesting. This could be kind of like that another ploy. I know there's a bunch of people online that have seen Putin and Medvedev and all of them, that they're going nuts over the sale of Alaska is illegal, and Russia wants Alaska back. If you know a little bit of the history, this is nothing new at all. This comes up every, I don't know how long, and it's not common that it comes up like all the time, but this comes up a lot. It's the same thing that it's like people don't pay attention, and all of a sudden here comes, one or two or three Russian fighters, and they're like, oh, it's going to Alaska, it's war. No, they do this all the time. We do it to them. We take off from Alaska and go over there, and then they send their people up. It happens a lot. So I don't see anything coming of that. I could be wrong, but that is the least of our concern at the moment. Next, this was going to be probably major news, as there was rumors about the 2-month ceasefire between uh, Israel and Hamas. Now, Israel was supposedly the one that promoted this, and they were going to do talks about it, and then everybody kind of said it was rumors and it's not going to happen, and there was still fighting going on. Well, all of a sudden, it got bumped down to a 1-month ceasefire, and news came out that it was agreed upon. And this was going to be major news. But before anybody could do anything, Hamas canceled it. So I don't know. And again, this is more than two countries, okay, in my opinion. You've got Yemen down south that are lobbing things up. You got Hezbollah up north and Lebanon lobbing things down. You got different types of resistance forces in Iraq and Syria and all over. So just because there's a 1 day or 1 month ceasefire is not a ceasefire with everybody else that's around there. So uh, we'll wait and see. Now, there are rumors that are spreading that the U.S. was seriously considering pulling its troops out of Syria. Now, this got to be such a big rumor that people are really believing it, that they forced U.S. officials to come out and say, no, it's not true. But it does bring up an interesting point, that could it be true and it accidentally got leaked? We know that leaks come out all the time, and they're leaks, so that's somebody purposely putting it out there. This one might be accidental, because if you move over to Iraq voted and made the decision they want U.S. out. U.S. came and said, no, we have no intention. Well, it has been shown and proven and confirmed that the ambassador that is in Iraq handed an official paper to start the talks on moving the U.S. troops out of Iraq. Now, was that what spawned the Syria thing? Maybe. Is a similar situation happening in Syria right now? I don't know. Something sparked it, whether it's true or not. But the U.S. official did come back and say, we're just talking about it, because as of right now, if we agree upon it, it's going to take months, if not years, before the U.S. can pull all of our stuff out of there. Not like we couldn't do another Afghanistan, mind you, but, it's just the way things work. So let's move on. So here's an interesting future thing to keep in mind. So the International Criminal Court of Justice, otherwise for the Hague, is expected to announce its decision of South Africa versus Israel this Friday. Interesting that it's coming out late on a Friday, okay? It seems like all the big things happen on a Friday, right before the weekend. So keep that in mind, okay? Data point that one. Next, it looks like British officials during an interview uh, basically came out and almost point blank verbatim that British citizens should start preparing themselves, that they have a really big chance of going to war, and the young people are probably going to get drafted. They're in the same boat we are. They don't have enough people in their military, and so they came right out. Hey, if something happens, all you guys here and down, you're getting drafted. So I don't know, is this just a thing to get everybody seriously prepared? Is this a break the ice and get them thinking? There's a lot that could be taken from this. It could be point blank, it could be something else. We don't know, but it's an interesting statement to observe. Next, it looks like a localized event has created some unrest in Russia. There was a Russian citizen that was killed by a foreign national, and that sparked a bunch of unrest in this town in Russia. So much so that the Russian government has shut down WhatsApp, Twitter, and Telegram. Now, keep that in mind, okay? Russia can do it, the US can do it. So while some of you rely on things like WhatsApp and Telegram for communications because you deem it as safe, it can be shut down, okay? So make sure that communications, you're not relying on something like that. I know some of you are laughing, okay? But it's in that serious note. You cannot rely on an app to be a primary source of communications during an event. So that might be a wake up call for somebody. If it doesn't mean anything to you, great. Hopefully your communications is rock solid. Uh, More on that later this week. But uh, if this was your secondary plan, here's a good, real, actual world event. You might want to rethink it, or at least come up with a secondary, third, fourth, different plan. Let's see. We're okay. Let's bring it back. Let's go to our friends in the north. So I'm sure some of you have heard that the Canadian courts have ruled and have found that the counterterrorism laws used by Trudeau and the Canadian government on the Freedom Convoy was deemed illegal. So good job, Canada. You guys have got a bunch of things wrong as of late, but this might be your turning point, and staying strong, rooting for you. So keep on that path. And let's turn it back here and come into our homeland. So there was a headline, and that headline read, Mother of All Breaches. And this is referring to a data leak that revealed 26 billion, that's billion with a B, 26 billion accounts stolen. And this is on major platforms such as Twitter, LinkedIn, and there was more in that list. So uh, it doesn't matter. If you're on the internet, you have a footprint, there is nothing secure at all. Once you have opened up the internet, everything is public, whether you think it is or not. So keep that in mind, okay? And especially as a lot of this AI comes out, uh, there is going to be a lot of stuff that you're going to see here probably pretty soon. So keep that in mind. Next, the Secretary of the Treasury has made a wonderful announcement today, and they said that the U.S. will be allocating 11.8 billion, again, B, $11.8 billion to Ukraine. Why, you ask? Well, it's to help cover their budget deficit. Not that we don't have a budget deficit, not that ours is continually growing and every single half second of the day it's hitting new records. But we can go further into debt to make sure that they don't go into debt. That's great. All right. Okay, let's go to the two major things going on. So the Texas National Guard. has been seen on social media as they begin setting up new razor wire. Now, if you missed it, I believe it was yesterday, Pinball did an amazing video on that uh, topic, as well as today he did another amazing video that we're going to get into in a second. But you've got to be careful with this, okay? And I'm just talking with people in the past 24 hours about all this. He made some great points, and I actually got to witness it in real life. So, the court said that the border people can go in and remove the razor wire. There's nothing in there that says that they can't go put it back up, okay? They can keep doing this swap thing all they want, okay, until somebody, gives up or the court rules that it can't be put back up. So they're playing that fine line because for anybody who is saying, and again, Pinball made this point, if Abbott or anybody in Texas says, well, we don't have to listen to the Supreme Court, it opens the door for anybody to ignore the Supreme Court. Okay, it's that real fine line. You have to be able to play in that gray area without breaking the rules, okay? Because once you break the rules, then everybody can break the rules, and they're going to point at you. You were the leader. You started this. So far, I commend Abbott, okay? And I'm not really that big of an Abbott fan, but at the moment, I'm going to stand right there for him. Now, Abbott did release a statement that says that Texas's constitutional authority to defend itself, its citizens, and its borders supersedes federal statutes. Yes, it absolutely does. These states have amazing powers that a lot of people don't understand. Governors have amazing powers, and a lot of people think that it's, way up here, president, nothing else. No, the way that it was all supposed to work, states were supposed to govern themselves, and federal was supposed to come in that state to state dispute, or if there was a natural disaster or something that was affecting the entire country, like national security or something like that. Federal was supposed to stay out of everything. That's the way this is supposed to work. If you like red t-shirts and your state votes, we're banning red t-shirts. If it means that much to you, there's 49 other states to go to, and maybe the next one over or next one down or up or whatever love red t-shirts. Okay, if it means that much, you move to there. It should be that way. All these major issues should not be federal. And one of the points that I really want to make, okay, and I know, hopefully, because I'm going to get slightly religious, if you believe in God at all, God gave man 10 commandments, 10 rules to live by. That's for every man, woman, and child across the entire planet from the beginning to the end. 10 rules. Why do we have a tax code this big? And that's tax code. That's not anything about murder or kids or anything about the EPA and tobacco and firearms. And why do we have millions of rules and laws and regulations when the Bible gave 10 rules? And so keep that in mind. There's a lot at play on this. Now, before we leave Texas, there's an announcement that has come out today that there is a massive trucker convoy protest planned for major border crossings to start February 3rd. So another future thing that you might want to pull your calendar out and circle that. Keep your eye out on this, okay? Texas stands to be a big beacon of hope and can really rally a lot of people. As long as they are standing up, people are going to suddenly get inspired and have a voice, and there's a lot. So it's going to be interesting to see if the federal government backs down or if they ramp up. So it's a wait and see game, unfortunately. Now, to end this one, I know, and this was Pinball's video this morning. Really, really good one. I know it's a little bit long. It's like 26 minutes, but it's well worth it. But I'm sure everybody's seen it. So last night, I think it was, I can't remember who it was. Oh, never mind. It doesn't matter. Okay, so they leaked out the secret phone recording between Kari Lake and the chair of the GOP in Arizona. That was pretty big. Now, if you haven't heard it, it's all over everywhere. You can go listen to it. To give an update, there was maybe an hour or so ago of me recording this. The Arizona GOP chair has resigned from this. Now, for me and my personal opinion, if you care about it, when that went out last night, and again, if you haven't heard this or haven't heard the video recording, you may not understand this, but when that went public last night, the second the sun rose this morning, there should have been steel around somebody or multiple people's wrist as people got arrested. There should have been a bunch of three-letter agencies swarming all over down there. And I don't care if it's left, right, up, down, red, blue, whoever it is. Corruption needs to leave this country, and I don't care what side it's on. And if any of that video, and this is my point on this, you can look at it from two ways. She could have faked this whole thing, in which she needs to pay the price, or this is real, and that chairman needs to pay the price. But somebody needs to pay the price on this one. This is not going to be I stepped down from my job and everything's great. It never happened. So yeah. Which real quick, let me end on one last thing. Boeing is still not having a good year, as there was a report of a 757 as it was waiting to take off. The nose wheels fell off and rolled down the runway while it was waiting for takeoff. So again, Boeing is not having a good year, and this is what reason number 4 that I am not flying anywhere anytime soon. So okay, that's what I've got for you guys. Depending on my internet speed and different other things, I will either see you shortly for Workshop Wednesday, or this will be released while we're on Workshop Wednesday. So if this comes out beforehand, I hope to see a bunch of you here shortly. And I'm going to end this one. So if you guys made it to this far in the video, guess what? Thank you. You guys rock. I love you guys. I hope you guys have a blessed night. I hope to see you here shortly. Do all the fun YouTube things. Stay tuned. There's definitely more information to come, and say it with me now. Please, above everything else, remain united, because we're all prepping in this together.